Pew, pew.
Hi, welcome to another episode of the J Situation. Today I have a little bit of a different product to show you. This is a digital night vision product from Pulsar, so it's not a thermal. This is the Pulsar Digisight N355 digital night vision scope. So what this product does is it picks up infrared or IR light, similar to what a digital video camera would do if its IR filter was removed. So with that being said, this unit can still be used during the day, and we'll go into that a little bit later. So I have some accessories here. First we'll talk about the main unit. So like typical Pulsar products, this is a reinforced polymer housing. The entire body is constructed of that material, so it kind of has a soft feel. It's lightweight, yet it's pretty durable. When you pick the unit up and when you install it on your firearm and use it in the field, you have the same confidence in its durability that you do in the other Pulsar products, so their thermal lines and their other digital night vision lines. So on the side of the unit you have an infrared illuminator. So this is an LED that shines infrared light. The wavelength is 940 nanometers, and it has a socket here in the side of the unit. This is actually removable. You can turn this dial and it unlocks the light housing from the main unit housing, and you can replace it with a stronger, more powerful 915 nanometer laser IR illuminator that you can get from Pulsar in case you need more illumination. On the rear of the stock IR illuminator there's a button, and you can cycle through the different levels of illumination desired that you need for your light conditions that you're operating in. One thing that should be mentioned about night vision devices such as this, if you're not getting adequate illumination from the onboard illuminator, you can use vehicle mounted IR, helmet mounted IR, weapon mounted IR, and a lot of different sources. So you're not really limited by what comes on the site. In fact, you could even remove this illuminator if you would like and use supplementary IR illumination depending on your application and use. I did mention that this sight can be used during the day or the night. So as you can see, it does have a lens cap. This lens cap is a little bit different than some of the other lens caps you may have seen on Pulsar products. So on the front there's a pinhole, and what you can do is you can take the housing, flip up the cover, and you see the lens right there. When operating in bright light, or sometimes even at dawn or dusk when there's enough light to see with the naked eye, you can close this cap completely and you get enough light through that pinhole and the image is focused through the pinhole. So you can operate the sight seamlessly from the day to night transition, which is really great. I actually tested that in the field and it worked really great. But the only thing you need to do is ensure that you play with the lens cap, and the sight will kind of let you know. You'll be able to judge the image quality, and you'll kind of transition fairly intuitively to be able to close the cap or open it. So speaking of the objective lens, the way the sight is configured, you, like other Pulsar products, using this sight will give you a native optical zoom, an optical magnification with the lens itself, and then you have a digital zoom, either a quick tap instant multiplication of the level you're using, or the gradual zoom in the menu. So For this sight, the native mag is 3.5x, so 3.5 times native magnification, and you can bump that up digitally to get to 14. As you can imagine, every time you increase magnification digitally, you lose resolution because you're interpolating between the pixels of the digital sensor. But nonetheless, the capability is there for you to use, and the sensor is fairly high resolution, so that kind of gives you some room to work with. I found that the native 3.5x magnification was really, really great for hunting with this scope at a deer blind during the day, staying there when it got dark, and transitioning to night use. The 3.5x was a good hunting magnification. I use a native, or should I say, I use a base 3 mag day scope a lot of times to hunt whitetail deer, and sometimes if I need to get more detail, I'll bump up the mag. But 3x is an excellent range for baseline hunting. I found in South Texas at least. So I found that it was very convenient that the optical mag starts at 3.5. So really, other than the IR illumination function, the switching to daytime and nighttime using a special lens cap with the pinhole, and general appearance, this is pretty similar to Pulsar's thermal offerings. And this is actually the first Pulsar digital night vision sight that I've used. And because I'm so used to using Pulsar thermals, I was hitting the ground running with this without even using the manual. It's really great. So just going through the features really quick, they're very similar to the Pulsar thermal features. Top here you got your objective lens focus, so that's going to focus your picture. Really easy to find in the dark. It has a knurled knob, really easy to grip, super easy to turn, super simple, nothing more to explain there. It has the standard buttons, and it has a menu button, a record button, and then you have your other buttons that have various functions, either scrolling through menu items, changing reticle colors, things like that. It has the famous, awesome Pulsar battery with the cam lever. Open that up, remove the battery, and like I show in all these videos, it has that cool lever to actuate the cams, and then you have your slick little locking lugs on the battery. On one of the earlier thermal videos, someone had a comment, and they were telling me that they didn't think these batteries were as cool as I was saying they were, because they thought when they were in the dark they were fumbling around with them and they couldn't know what was the top and what was the bottom. But if you look closely, so there's something you can go by feel. On the top of the battery it's smooth, and on the bottom of the battery there's a raised edge. You can get it with your fingernail, so I can feel that with my finger. So in the dark it doesn't matter if you can see it or not, right? If you know about that edge, which the manual actually shows you that, you can fit it into the unit pretty easily and lock it down. And once again, like the other sights from Pulsar, the night vision sights and the thermal sights, these are pretty heavily water resistant. So when you lock that cam for the battery, you're sealing all the contacts and you're good to go. In addition to the physical features that are shared with the thermal, the software features are also shared, and you can also use the Stream Vision app. That app, it's incredible for quickly getting the information that you've recorded off of the unit, as this unit can also record digital photographs and video, just like the thermal sights do. You can control functions of the sight with the Stream Vision app, and that Stream Vision app can run on any mobile operating system. any of the two you choose, iOS or Android. And the side even has the remote, similar to the thermal sights, that lets you can Velcro this or zip tie it to your weapon so that you can kind of have your favorite functions out of the way and closer to your operating hands, if or your weak hand. If you hold a rifle a certain way, or you use something in a blind or maybe a tripod, you can kind of set up the controls to your preference. And it has the standard Pulsar battery charger, the standard 5-volt 2-amp draw transformer, and the cable that is the exact same cable as the XP series of thermal sights, which is super cool, because when I went out hunting with this guy and my thermals, I could charge all my batteries using the same stuff. The USB cable even has the same rounded jack, so it was super easy to use with all my stuff, and I could use it with the similar jack here that you see that is the same as the thermal sights. So this is a really cool product. It's a fraction of the price of the thermals, so if you're not looking to drop used car prices on a gun sight and you want to play at night, and you're looking to get into it but you want to waste your money on stuff that doesn't work, I would recommend this product, because I was spotting hogs and varmints and predators and white-tailed deer with my thermal, and if I could see what they were, but if I wanted fine detail, for example, antlers of white-tailed deer that are not in velvet, because there's not a good thermal signature, I'd pull out this puppy, and at night I sat there and watched young bucks sparring. I watched them bed down and chew their cud, because they're ruminant animals. It was super cool. Very cool to use. The various IR illumination on this light is really easy to use. I found that I kind of jacked it up all the way most of the time. I think that if I used this a lot, I would probably get the more powerful IR, or even get some supplementary IR. Why not? It's super cheap to just get some powerful IR lights. So yeah, I love this thing. It's great. You can use it all day and all night. You could really just put this on your deer rifle, and you could use this as a deer scope during the day. You could record your hunts during the day, record your shots. It has different color palettes, so you can make it look slick if you want. You could use negative, black and white. There's a few of them. You change your reticle. You can put different zeros on it for different ammo, different guns. You could use a QD mount, like the thermals use. This has a the Picatinny mount, or the Weaver mount, but you can remove this and put the QD mount on there if you like. And there's all kinds of third-party ones too if you want to get fancy. Yeah, I like this way more than I thought I would, so that's pretty sweet. What I'm going to do in the next week or so is I'm going to take some of the footage that I took with this sight, and I'm going to compare it to the same footage I took the same night with my Helion thermal spotting monocular from Pulsar, and which costs like, I don't know, like more than double or triple what this costs. And I'll kind of show you the difference, same conditions, same night, on what you can see with thermal, what you can see with night vision, and what's better in thermal and what's better in night vision. And I tell you what, there's stuff that's better in night vision that you might not believe. And more specifically, this is digital night vision, so this is not going to break the bank. So I know this review was pretty quick, but I was pretty excited about this unit, and I hope you guys check it out. Go to your local dealer, see if he'll let you play with it. You can play with it during the day and get a good feel for it. Maybe take it to a dark room and set up some objects and see what you think. But you would be hard pressed to find, I think, a better deal right now for such a solid, feature-rich product. You know, it's a very low price point, so you know you should be hunting at night. It's so fun. Thanks for watching this short review on the Pulsar Digisight N355 digital night vision scope. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some good information. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and follow me on Instagram for the follow-up photos and thermal comparisons with the digital night vision. And stay tuned for more.
Pew pew.